Okay, so I think I figured it out, how to get the audio and the visual. Just want to double check 1 second. I want to share a tribulation dream that I had last night. And just make sure this is working, which I assume it is. But I don't want to record this again. Okay, testing. Okay, testing. All right, so last night I had a tribulation dream. And in this dream, I was in a restaurant with a couple girlfriends downtown Austin. And I was telling them about the rapture, and they were sort of curious, but they didn't really have any, like, they had no familiarity with the topic, so they weren't like super interested in it. And I was saying how this might happen, this is going to happen like any minute now, any minute the rapture is going to happen, this is now. And then sure enough, a few minutes later, first we saw buildings across the street, like in the distance, falling, like just being just leveled to the ground, like blown up, or maybe there was an earthquake. And then the restaurant was invaded with armed guards, foreign military. They had their faces kind of covered, and they said, everyone stand up and get in line. So everyone had to stop what they were doing, of course, get in line. Like they were like, get in line by the door. And so everyone stands up and gets in line, and I, when you have the Holy Spirit, you worry for nothing, right? So I wasn't worried. I wasn't like in fear. It's just kind of like, all right, get in line, I guess. But it was like I wasn't quick to get in line, because I was like, I don't think that is a command for me. Not appointed to God's wrath, not a part of that tribulation paradigm. So the armed guard there, he comes to me, walks back to the back of the line, he goes, no, not you, you're not a part of this. Like he knew me, maybe he knew my face or something. He's like, no, you're not a part of this. So he's like, all right, come with me. And he opens the door, like holds the door for me to go. And so I get in my car and I start driving. But there was just so much carnage in such a short amount of time. And like there were armed guards everywhere. Like the country had already been invaded, and they were just like waiting to get their orders to act. They were already there, right? Like everywhere. They were going into every business, restaurant, store, like wherever people were gathered in the city. In an instant, they were all like everybody, and all this carnage was happening around the city. They were like, everybody stand up, get in line, everywhere. And so I'm in my car and I'm driving, and there's so much carnage. You're just like driving over, I don't know, just like shrapnel from the buildings and all kinds of crap in the street, even dead bodies. Like there were parts of the roads where you had to physically drive over like a pile of bodies just to, get through. It was horrible. But, had no fear. Just had to get to where I was going. And that was it. That's all I remember. So it just, it was definitely just a dream, of course, but it really feels real. I really sense that there are people that are here all over the place. I'm just outside of Austin, Texas now, just south. But there's all these people moving here, and they're weird, they're different, and they're just like, I just feel like they are a Trojan horse. I just feel like they are like Mossad, Hamas, Mossad, just going about acting like they're normal people. But, in an instant, when all the carnage hits, they know their job is to put on their military uniform, grab their guns, and round up the American people during the, start the tribulation. Mm, I feel like this is happening so soon. Like, just the clear connection, like instructions from God, and like all the themes, like everything that's being brought to my attention, my awareness, like even having to like I like went through all that like emotional stuff last night, like, and I just feel like every all this stuff is coming up for healing, and at such a speed, like it's such a fast pace. It's like after one after another after another after another, because I feel like we can't take this heaviness with us. So I feel like I had to do that stream because it was like I had to like get that heaviness like out of my body. The horrors of investigating child trafficking. I mean, you really just kind of like turn it off. Like you just turn it off for years. And then it's so horrifying. You just block it out. And I feel like I just, for once and for all, just had to cry it out, get it out of my body, just get it out of my body, because we're not taking this heaviness with us. So there's a lot of rapid healing happening. I feel like the rapture is happening so soon, maybe even this weekend. The House is trying to pass a bill, I guess, to avoid another threat of a government shutdown, which is supposed to happen tomorrow night. Um, quote unquote government shutdown tomorrow night at midnight. Supposed to, shut down if they can't somehow avoid it, right? But it's also orchestrated. Biden, the FCC, Federal Communications Department, they want to like New World Order the government. That's crazy. That is like the part of the mark of the beast. I think feel like you're going to have to do something to get access to the internet, and I feel like that's going to be the mark of the beast. So you can go back to work. Don't do it. I don't think it's a chip. I think it's just the usage of the internet itself, the ability to use the internet. I feel like that's the mark of the beast, and they're talking about that now, right? The FCC is like, we want everyone to have a one unified force for the internet. So that's mark of the beast. Threat of a government shutdown tomorrow night. I feel like everything in the war in Israel is gonna turn here. Even in an SNL skit, we're like, when we're done over here, we're coming to America. They were like making fun of these, just kind of like the liberal people and their hypocrisy. And they were like, we love you. And they're like, okay, well, if you were here, we'd kill you. We kill, it's just a joke about the hypocrisy of these like urbanite liberal hippies and their just hypocrisy. And they're like, when we're done here, we're going to come there. And I just feel like that's happening. Like, I feel like, or they're already here, or it's about to pop off here. I can't entertain like any idea that this isn't happening so soon. Even people that like produce content about stuff that's going on in the world, but they are not talking about the rapture. I just can't, it doesn't feel right to me. This woman was just talking about eminent domain. They want to come in, take your land in the name of climate change and put up, windmills and solar and whatever. And I just don't think we have time for that. I just feel like the rapture is happening so soon. I can't even entertain. Like, I just, this content is not interesting to me because I don't think we have time for that. All I can think about is rapture and tribulation starting. Like, all I want to listen to is all the signs pointing to how incredibly close it is, the way things are coming up for healing, like rapid fire. Also, I mean, what do you call it? The behaviors of people in the economy. Next week, I only have one appointment. I mean, I'm not complaining, right? I'm not. God has total control over my schedule. In fact, I would be a little suspicious if it filled up with Hamas members or Mossad people. Just no. That's very unusual. Usually 75 to 100% booked the week before, but the outlook is I have one appointment next week. That's highly unusual. And I just think it's just another sign that this is about to be over. And it would be suspicious if if my schedule just filled up with all these people, and I would be like, these are like Hamas Mossad watching this video saying we gotta gaslight Lauren Pritchard and fill up her schedule next week. Everybody book an appointment. No, dude, I think it's a sign that we're at the end. There was just a hairdresser forum asking people about their books, and everyone's saying the same thing. People are rescheduling, they're pushing their appointments out. Or I've had 2 clients this month just tell me that they're sorry they cut it out of the budget altogether. And I'm like, don't be sorry, I totally understand. Sign of the times, like, shall not come nigh thee. This is all over the United States. The hairdressers all over, this big forum that we keep in touch on. Everybody's saying, like, yeah, the behavior of the consumer economy is just, people are stretched very thin. And cosmetics, cigarettes, and alcohol are usually the last thing to go. So when the cosmetics department is not as good, that's a big sign. Things are really bad. We all know that. So I can't think of anything but the rapture. I mean, I'd probably be a bad vibe right now to anybody who I can't entertain any conversation that's not about it. And I'm not just saying that like I can't. No, my brain is we're so in the eye of the needle right now that I just can't even pretend to think anything other than this is about to happen. Sometimes we'll go through an eye of the needle and we'll come out on the other side. But this time it's weird because of the headlines, the government, the way they're responding, the way they're threatening, and the war. It's just different this time because it's like reflected in like the government, Pentagon, government shutdown, FCC, Pentagon can't pass their audit. But get the Holy Spirit in you, relationship with Jesus Christ, so you worry for nothing. Even if you're going through the tribulation, you just worry for nothing. I think it was partly the theme of the dream. Even though all this was happening, it's like you fear for nothing, you worry for nothing. You're going to need that kind of strength when this happens, because you can't think right when you're full of fear and you're worried, right? You can't navigate. So get really close with God and Jesus and pray and just get full of the Holy Spirit so that you worry for nothing. And we worry for nothing. We put all our faith in God. And if Satan were to cross the line, rapture, it's over. He's done. He's not allowed to touch us. All right, well, that's that. Have a great day. Maybe I'll talk to you soon, maybe not. Thanks for listening.